doesn't like me. He gives me weird looks all the time.
If he gives you trouble, let me know. I'll take care of it.
No, I don't want to cause problems. I have to work with him.
His face better get ready to meet my butt.
Keep it down. I don't want anybody to know about this. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Getting your news in the world today is challenging at best. Tune into Good Morning Briquettes and you'll have no regrets. Wouldn't you like to watch our show? What's up with that photo? Welcome to Good Morning Briquettes, where we always aim to please. You gotta love that people know they're getting news from a bear. As new shows go, well, nothing really can compare. You gotta love that people know they're getting news from a bear. As new shows go, well, nothing really can compare.
Good morning, Briquetti.
Good morning, Briquettes. What's so funny?
Well, Jacob gave me the little thing like that to say go, and he hit his hand on the
What?
light.
What's that little lap?
What?
What did you just say?
Jacob did this to tell me to go.
No, he
And
did
then-
the little clappable.
And then he did. And then after that, he said
Yeah.
action. And then he always does this afterwards. And then when he did that, he hit his hand on the light, and it was pretty funny.
It's not funny.
So anyway, good morning, Briquettes. We have a great episode for
Yes,
you
we
today.
really do.
Spring is here.
Spring is here.
break is here.
Spring break is here.
Who's not excited about spring break, Mrs. Bear?
I'm out of hibernation. I'm out of hibernation.
Yeah, were you in hibernation?
No, I stuffed up on food.
Yeah.
I take naps when I'm not ailing, so I don't have to hibernate.
So anyway, I was told to read the script exactly. So it says, Hep,
Not exactly.
Hep, spring is here.
No, not exactly. Just read it like you would.
Oh.
Just don't read it ahead of time before
okay.
you went on air.
Hep, spring is here. Hey.
Happy
Spring is here.
Hey,
and that
spring
means
is here.
spring cleaning. So Julie has been cleaning the house like crazy. Something tells me Julie wrote this script. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
she's been cleaning the house like crazy, and I'm going to restrain the deck. I'm going to put the deck in a straight jacket, put some handcuffs on it, and restrain it.
Yeah.
I'm going to restain the deck. And I took the sand out of the sandbox in the backyard a couple days ago. It had mold growing all over it. Yeah, it was all packed down, and it was pretty nasty. So if you have a sandbox that you haven't touched in a while, there might be bugs in it. There might be mold in it. You just never know.
Yeah, you just never know. There could be a Mrs. Bear in it.
Yeah. Do you know what we're going to be doing with that sandbox at all?
Making it into a little pool for Sierra.
Yeah. Apparently, Sierra has requested that she be able to dip her toes in the water. So we're going to be filling it up with water and allowing Sierra to dip her toes in it.
Yeah.
My guess is that she'll pee in it before she dips her toes in it. That's just a
No.
guess. And then she'll drink it.
Yeah.
She'll definitely drink it before she dips her toes in it. So anyway, speaking of spring and being outside, trees and flowers, they're starting to bloom.
Bloom.
And here's a lovely picture to show that. That's not, Miss Bear, that's not lovely. No one wants to hear that. Okay?
Sure they do.
So let's take a look. Here's a picture.
Whoa, that's a cool picture.
Yeah, so that's our Briquetti news. Briquetti news, flowers are blooming. All right?
Yeah.
All right, so also speaking of being outside and
It's
the weather
been-
changing and weather getting warmer.
I
What
think
does
we
that
know
call
what that
for?
calls for.
Jeez. It is the 2021 debut.
Gardening
Gardening
with
with
Julie.
Yep, you heard that right. Let's go to the segment.
Let's go.
Welcome to Gardening with Julie Springtime Edition. Spring has sprung. Let's look over here at the the tulip garden. As you can see, all the tulips have popped out and are growing to within the next few weeks bloom up. Then we also, I believe, have, I think it's hyacinth, already blooming. Let's go over here to this section, which will show you more tulips and more hyacinth. We have a pink theme going because pink complements the green very nicely. As you can see, they look lovely. It's going to be a very robust year this year. If you look above at the tree, it is now starting to bloom. You can see the buds popping on the branches. Over here, we have our cherry. I believe it might be a black cherry tree. Over here is our cherry tree. As you can see from here, this is probably stage number 2 or 3 in the blooming process for the cherry blossoms. They will bloom, they will blossom. Some have, some over here have bloomed. You can go over here. Illustrate the beautiful blossom. Keep going, yeah. Illustrate blossoms are not shiny. Back over here in this section, we have our hydrangea bushes. As you can see, they are now starting to sprout for spring. You gotta remove all these things. Somebody needs to do that. Gonna remove these old ones. Jacob can come out here later and do that. And then it'll be ready for spring. Last, we have the famous magnolia tree that is beautiful. The issue with the magnolia tree is as soon as it gets it blooms and then it's windy, they all fall down. But while it's blooming for like a week or so, best tree in the yard. Let's look at it. As you can see, it has purpley pink flowers that are lovely. But as soon as it gets windy, which today we're supposed to be experiencing 80-mile-per-hour winds, all the blossoms fall to the ground. Let's check out one of those blossoms. As you can see, it has a white and purple tone with a pistil and a stamen. That's beautiful. What more could you want? But I think that's it for today on another episode of Gardening with Julie.
Wow, that was great.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, so, hey, great. So, anyway, new segment coming up. Eric found a new video game.
He did?
Yeah, it's called...
He did.
It's called Cuphead.
Shut up!
And it literally is what it says. It's Cuphead, and I believe, is it a brother or like a cousin or what?
I'm not telling you.
I think it's a brother called Mughead. And... Mugman, excuse me. So Cuphead and Mugman.
Mugman.
And they go and they try and defeat really bad guys like potatoes and onions.
I hate onions and
carrots.
potatoes. Oh, those carrots.
We beat some blue bouncy balls.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, yeah. That's the evilest thing.
And we're trying to get this big moth guy, but we're having trouble.
I heard there was a bear boss.
Oh, nice. So anyway, what do you think about a bear boss?
I am the Mrs. Bell. I will eat you for breakfast.
So anyway,
intimidating.
So Eric likes to tell us that everything is fun. He'll say, "Oh, watch this YouTube video. It's hilarious. Oh, it's got so much fun."
Oh, the tutorial. It's quick. Oh my gosh.
He does not talk like that. So anyway, so most of the time, I'd say probably about 98% of the time, he's wrong. It's not funny. It's not fun. But this time he was right. Cuphead and Mugman is actually pretty fun. Yeah. So I was playing with him a little bit. Yeah. Should we maybe show a video of the gameplay?
No.
Okay.
That sounds too much work for Jacob.
Oh, yeah. The last thing we want to do is create work for Jacob.
Yeah.
You don't want to
All right.
spoil
Anyway.
the friggin' game.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Oh,
So, I'm sure by now you all have realized that we have a new intro. And
hey, did you even get to the part where we're having an interview?
oh no. So let's watch an interview with either me or Eric on a review of the video game. Oh, my bad. I shouldn't have said everything I have to say about the video game in the last 2 minutes of the show.
That was not the interview.
I know that. I'm saying I said pretty much everything I have to say about the game in the last 2 minutes.
Okay, let's listen to that all over again. Or should we not?
I'm thinking we probably shouldn't.
You evil pig!
Just so everyone.
What did you do to my wife?
Mr. Bear just gave me a butt to the throat. What are you doing? Was Mr. Bear taking over now? I have no idea what's going on. What is going on?
Kiss me, Mrs. Bell.
Oh! Come on, guys.
Okay, I'm good now.
Great. Okay, Mrs. Bear. Anyway, so I don't know what the last minute was, but I don't know. I got nothing to say. Anyway, so
What?
as you've probably noticed by now, we have a new intro.
Yeah, you better have noticed.
Dare I say, I think it's up there with some of the best intros we've had.
Yeah.
What do you think? So, I'm very proud of it. So, you all are probably wondering, what goes into making an intro like that?
How long does it take you?
Yeah, how long would you say this one took me?
6 hours.
No. Jacob estimates it was about 15. I've spent entirely way too much time on this show. Not only
Those graphics. That's what took him
not
a
only
while.
hosting. No, it was I don't know what it was. It was everything.
Singing was sure. The other stuff was not.
The good morning briquettes and making it sparkle, that was something that took a little bit of time. So
Yeah.
So anyway, what we thought we would do is take you on a little behind the scenes, how is that made type of
How's
segment
it
here.
made?
And let's take a look at that now.
Okay, let's look.
Welcome everyone to the behind the scenes How Did We Make the Cheers intro video. I'm here with Jacob and we're here to show you all the little bits and pieces that went into making this. So the first thing you got to do is you always got to watch the intro. And, we've all seen Cheers a bunch of times, but you don't remember all the intricacies. So the first thing you got to do is watch the intro. So that's what we started with.
Making your way in the world.
So this part I remembered. You remember all the drawings. What I wasn't sure, what I didn't remember was like how cartoony they were. If you look in our video, it's not quite the same kind, but you get the point. And that's the only one that doesn't fade right there. Now, I will pause it right here and say up until that point, I thought the Cheers intro would be relatively easy because of the fact that it's just a bunch of pictures. And then they hit us with the title sequence, and I didn't remember the little sparkle, but here it comes. That part right there, I was like, oh man, like how am I gonna do that? So that was probably one of the most time-consuming things I did. But then the rest of it, you notice here, the graphics, if you pause it here, are yellow on top with orange on the bottom, and they kind of have those lines across. So I had to find that font online. I'll show you that in a minute. But if you take a look back at the Cheers thing, like notice how with Cheers it's orange on top and brown on the bottom, and then when you get to the credits, it's yellow on top, orange on the bottom. So that kind of threw me at first as well because I had the colors wrong. But anyway, the whole Shelley Long up top in the upper right and Ted Danson in the bottom left, I had to mimic that with me and Mrs. Bear, and then we keep playing it. And then the rest of it, I was just trying to, make it so it looked like the Cheers intro. I didn't have the names all in the same places, and I tried to match the names up with the picture we were seeing. And then, of course, this final scene here, when it says created by, and then it zooms in kind of on that guy right there. I kind of did the exact opposite, where I had it zoomed in on the sign, and then I kind of had it zoom out a little bit, but still having Jacob there on the side of it. So I tried mimicking as much as I possibly could. But once we got that down, then we had to find some pictures. So in order to do that, what I would do is I would use this program called Graphite. I'm just going to show you really quick what happens. So if we want to get a picture, let's say, it doesn't matter which picture we do, but let's actually just get a picture of Jacob from when he was going to the bus. Okay, so if I want to get this picture here, what it does, it's a pretty cool program that allows you to do a whole bunch of different types of drawings here. So there's a pencil drawing, there's a drawing in color. What I ended up doing was the soft color right here, and that's what I ended up doing for the Cheers intro. So like I said, not exactly like the show, but that's how I made those pictures, just a filter on the iPad. And once we were done with that, then what we ended up with is all of our pictures here. Now, these are going to be all our pictures, and I'll just take you through one by one. That's our house. That's our house as a drawing. There's the set. There's the set as a drawing, and you kind of see how it forms, especially like on the background wall there, or if you look at the blue screen, you see all the kind of like lines and squiggly lines and everything. There's the this was from outside Costco when right after the pandemic hit and they were out of Spam. That makes that. That's Jacob after running his driveway 5K. There's the crazy picture with Sierra and Mrs. Bear. There's Mrs. Bear relaxing. That's us at the baseball game. If you didn't realize that, that's us right there. So we turned that into. I mean, we zoomed in the intro, but that's Eric. You can see the finger across the top. I had to crop that out. But it's a pretty cool program to make these drawings. And there's Julie getting her shot. And there's that. Of course, we had Halloween where Jacob was the coronavirus. Eric was the doctor. That was the blind taste test from a couple weeks ago. And there's Sierra, like one of the funniest pictures, I think. And then there's the final sign. All right, so that was what I had to do next. I had to get all the pictures taken care of. Once that was done, then we could organize them. We did have to find an instrumental version of the intro, which again, I did that on YouTube and I recorded the sound and then I recorded my voice. And I actually ended up using an auto-tune program, which I don't have on here, but I ended up with an auto-tune program that helped a little bit. It's still not perfect. And I was also able to create the chorus. So that's my voice. And the chorus is my voice as well. It just sounds kind of like a little robotic, but if you play it low enough, it sounds like a little bit like background. So that part was kind of neat as well. So then after that, we had to create the names, and to do that, I went into this program that I have, this app that I have called Sketchbook right over here. And what we would do here is, I'm sorry, let me take that back a second. I had to first find the font. So this is what I would do. I searched for Cheers font, and this was one of the ones that came up, and you notice it looks a lot like the actual Cheers intro. So when you scroll down here, it allows you to make a free preview. So what you would do here is you would type in, for example, Mrs. Bear, right? And then you would say, oh, let's make it like 100 size font, and let's have the bottom color be orange. And then you click generate here, and then it comes up with Mrs. Bear, and you can actually save that image. So I would save that image, and then I would get it into this sketchbook program. And then what I would do is I would go up here and I would choose the yellowish color that I was looking for. And then I would get this up here up top. I would get that little paint bucket. And then I would tap on each of these letters and I would fill in the yellow. So I would just fill in kind of the white area. And I would fill those in like that, and it would create the graphics. Now, I do have this on a blue screen because what I'm doing when I put it all together is I am putting this in the background. So, I only want the graphics on there. I don't want the actual blue. So there's that. So then you save that as an image, and then I'm able to put it in as a blue screen on the actual video. Notice it's in the bottom right-hand corner because that's where I wanted it on screen. So I tried using green on this. But it actually didn't work well with these colors. You'll see when I talk about the Good Morning Briquettes with the little shine on it, I use green on that one. So once I had that done, then what I had to start doing was going to iMovie and going into the actual intro. And I go in here and I click edit. You can see right there and right there and right there, you can see all the pictures that I put in there. And then down here is the soundtrack. All right, so you can see when it starts playing. By the way, I recorded that. That's a random person driving by. They don't know they're in Good Morning Briquettes.
Getting your news in the world today is challenging at best.
So you can see how that works. But then we went through all the intros, and I tried timing it like on the show. But then we had to get to that little part where the Good Morning Briquettes comes in, and it does a little sparkle. So to do that, this, like I said, was probably the most time-consuming part. I made a separate video here. So as you can see down here, in each of these videos, or I'm sorry, in each of these pictures here, this first one is covering the zoom out. But then each of these pictures, if I click on each of the pictures, just compare it to the previous one, you notice on each one of them, there's a little tiny change in the location of the white, right? And then here's where it comes in from the left-hand side. And it's just a whole bunch of pictures, just trying to create a little animation. Obviously not as good as it looks in the actual show, but still something that I thought was pretty cool. And then it goes just to a screen there, and then it I have it so it fades out eventually. So when you look at it all together, this is what the original video looked like. It goes really slow. You see how it fades as well. So you wait for this video to go, then you export this video, which is like 20 seconds long. And you export it and you speed it up a little bit. And since I don't have professional video editing software, I got to do this a few times because the most I can do, if you click on any one of these little things, the most I can do is go down and speed it up by 2. For some reason, it's not letting me do that here, probably because they're too short. But maybe if I go to the end, nope. But anyway, so you create these videos, you speed them up, and then you make it so eventually it takes like 3 or 4 seconds long. Then what I do is I go back to the Cheers intro and I get all these pictures, and you notice right here, okay, this is the part where it cuts the Mrs. Bear, and then I go ahead right there and I put in the green screen, right? So the way you do that is you go to video, you go to this is actually today's news. What you would do is you would click on those 3 dots and put green blue screen. I'm not going to insert it here because I don't want to, but then what happens is you get that video and it goes right over the top of the picture. So it ends up looking like.
What's up with that photo? Welcome to Good Morning Briquettes.
And it looks like that. So that's how you get that in there. And then the rest is just the credits you can see up top here. That's the starring, and then you can see how I put Mrs. Bear and my name the same way that Shelley Long and Ted Danson were. And you put those just as a blue screen. You insert those the same way, and then that's pretty much it. So when all is said and done, okay, what you have is, wait, Jacob's tapping me on the shoulder, so I'm sure I forgot to say something. What? Oh, yeah, sorry. Jacob critiqued me and told me I was allowed to do certain pictures and not do certain pictures. And he was also telling me that the singing was horrible and that the background noise sounded too robotic. But when all was said and done, we have our intro. We got this. So again, there's the cut to the picture of the house. And then this, we had to make it so it zoomed. Right, and all those zoom things you can do in iMovie pretty quick, or pretty easy, I should say.
Wouldn't you like to watch a show? What's up?
Right, and then here comes the green screen, a little glisten, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. The one thing you can't do with those blue and green screens is fade them in and out, so that's why it just kind of appears.
As new shows go, well, nothing really can compare. You gotta love that people know they're getting news from a
You just got to ignore the singing.
As new shows go, well, nothing really can compare.
And that's it. And then when we insert it in the show, we have it fade in from black, and then we have it fade out. So it looks like the normal Cheers intro. So that is how you make an intro. All right, hey, for our final segment.
Our final segment?
Yeah. Did you know Jacob made a mini model of our studio here?
He did.
Yeah.
The colors are a little messed up on the ground.
That's
for
okay.
little Jacob films, but...
All right. So it's okay, but let's take a look at how Jacob made our set.
Not how, the time lapse and Jacob explaining the explaining the Lego set.
Thank you, Mrs. Bear.
Yeah, thank you.
And now, here is the Good Morning Kitties Lego set. It's not that good with the colors, but, like, I had limited Legos, and half of them were used already. And they were barely, like, I had a limited amount of Legos that I had here. I had a whole box in the basement, but I really did not want to get those. So the colors are, like, kind of off right there, but I have, like, the green screen right there. Mrs. Bill's loudspeaker. I have Mrs. Bill's fold-up chair. I should put a high chair on it. Wait. With Mrs. Bill's high chair. Then Jeff's little chair with Wes. And then Clark's white man with the table with the gray legs with the black. This the little reflection right there. That's also because they ran out of pieces and I had to make up an excuse for that. The floor's kind of ugly, but this is the interview couch. I have not made a back to it yet, but I think it's good enough. I'm kind of tired. This is my director's chair right here. Again, I ran out of pieces, so it's just 2 blocks. This is the camera right here. It's kind of the iPad. I would have had just like a little towel right here, but I needed to have a little thing so you knew it's camera right here. It's the studio lights. I only did like 2 of them because they're like kind of multicolored lights kind of thing, but we just put LED bulbs in them. And yeah, so, and like the little, right here, like you can see right here, the little things. All multicolored because that's how they are in like real life. And then this thing right here says to keep the floor together with the studio pole. So then, yeah, that's basically the Good Morning Kitties Lego Studio. I'll try finding Mrs. Bale.
All right, so hey.
Boom, boom.
All right, hey, guess what, Ms. Bear?
Boom, boom.
No, guess what?
What?
We're done.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, all
Yeah. Celebrate good times, yeah.
So-
Next week's all Easter episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
What?
That's it for today, but we have one more thing to
We
SYA.
do. What's what?
We have one more thing to SYA. You confused?
I
I know that's what it says in the script, but I don't know what that's. I don't know what that's supposed to say. SYA is the name of the group that Eric plays
Oh yeah,
for
Eric had
soccer.
his full soccer practice.
Yeah. Hey, some late breaking briquette news. Eric had his first soccer practice yesterday.
Yeah.
How'd it go, Eric?
It went good, except
It
for
went great. Well, that's
except
good
for
to
you
hear.
yelling
Eric.
at him.
Yeah, well, he yelled at me. I won't tell you what he said.
He said,
No,
he
no,
said,
no,
I am not your
Mrs.
son.
Bear,
I am
Mrs.
just
Bear,
your
Mrs.
student
Bear,
or something.
stop it. We're not going to share. Anyway, that's it for today, so we just have one more thing to say.
And that is...
Good morning,
Morning,
briquettes.
briquettes.
See you next week for Easter.
Yeah, well, Easter episode next week. Chicken butts. Yeah, goodbye.
Good morning.